Okay, so I'm going to do this video. I have no off-road experience with the Goodyears as of right now, only on-road. But last night I was able to get my computer reset. It is dead on with about 3 or 4 GPS apps that I downloaded, and also with Google, which Google has been pretty accurate as far as to my dash cam, to any other thing I've ever compared Google to. Google was pretty dead on as far as the speed that it's on. So all that was pretty dead on and pretty similar. It was registering all the way up to 80 last night, dead on. So what was wrong with the V-Gate is, I guess something happened and they updated the JScan app or something. I don't know, but I had to go in and disconnect from the radio, and then it's underneath another name now. It used to be underneath V-Gate, but now it's underneath V-Link, I guess, when it shows up in the Bluetooth. I don't know, but it changed, so I had to reconnect to it, put a passcode in, and then I got everything to connect up. So anyway, as far as the Goodyear MTR Kevlar 37, 12.5, 17, I love how they look. Great tire, love how they look. And they look like they'd be awesome off-road tires. I mean, the way they look, the guy raved about them. He told me they were just the best tire ever, and I believe him. And they seem like they would be the best tire, a really good tire. Maybe not the best tire ever, but he really liked them. With that said, I will say this. I know I read a lot of people's comments on the Goodyears on JL forum, JK forum, and even on Gladiator forum. All the good bit of the people, said that they were loud, this and that, but a lot of the people who had been running BFGs or Coopers or another all-terrain tires said that they were pretty comparable in loudness to some of the other tires. I'll say this, not true. I've ran Coopers. A while back I ran a set of Coopers, probably like 7-8 years ago. On another Jeep I had, on an XJ I had, Coopers were not loud. It was an all-terrain tire as well. The Coopers I had on there, I can't remember what they were. It was an all-season or all-terrain tire. It was like a 33, I think. It wasn't loud. I ran Yokohama Geolander mud trains on my JK. I ran the older Goodyear tires on my JK, and I also ran some Toyos on my JK, all in mud terrain, all pretty loud tires. The Yokohama being the loudest of them, Toyo coming in second, and then the Goodyear is probably third as far as the loudness goes. But as far as after I switched to a BFG to an all-terrain, BFGs were significantly quieter, the BFG KO2s, than any of the other three. Even quieter than a 33 BFG mud terrain tire that originally came on the Jeep when I bought it. And the BFGs were in a 35. So I ran probably 4 sets of the BFGs. I was on my 4th set. This was my 4th set that I had on this Jeep. After switching from the BFGs to the Goodyears, I will tell you this, that contrary to what other people said about the Goodyear being pretty similar in loudness to the BFG, it definitely is significantly louder. It is a louder tire. It is not nowhere near as quiet as a BFG is. And I'm talking about a BFG that's wore down 40,000, 45,000 miles, is a lot quieter than a brand new, or at least a 75% treaded Goodyear tire, which the Goodyear Kevlars that I got on here now have about 70 to 75% life left on them. And the other BFGs I took off had lost about 4/32 of tread. They were 15 when I put them on. They were down to 11/32 when I took them off, and they were way quieter than these tires. And I'll tell you this: the road ride with the KO2s in a E-rated tire was a lot better than the Goodyears. Now I know the Goodyear tire is a mud terrain. I understand that. And I also did not expect what everybody said to be true. I expected it to ride worse. And I'm not bashing the Goodyear MTR Kevlar by any means, because I believe that it is a great tire, and I believe if I was going to the trail more than half the time in this Jeep, that I would definitely put these Goodyears on here and I would run them. But I would say when you're selecting tires, you should probably figure out a tire based on your lifestyle and how you're going to use your rig. Not based on look, because if I based it on look, then I'd probably keep these on here, because I do like how these look way better than the BFGs. And I would say that probably if that was all that I was looking for, then I would probably leave these on here, because look-wise, they look a lot more aggressive than the BFGs did. And maybe a BFG 37 would look a little more aggressive. But you definitely feel the road more because it's an MTR. And I just want a little bit more comfortable ride for my daily driver. So with that being said, whenever these wear out, I'm going to run them all the way out. I'm going to run them all the way out. And when I run these out, I'm going to put another 37 on here. And it's going to be an all-terrain. And I'm in between if I want to put a BFG KO2 37 on here, or if I want to put the Cooper AT3 XLT on here. It's going to be probably one of those two tires is what I got them narrowed down to. And that's where I'm going to be at with it. Because I had good experience with Coopers, and I've had good experience with BFGs. I know people on here are on all kind of forums, and others have told me they've had terrible experiences with BFGs, and other people knock them. And all that could be true. I'm not saying any of it is not true, because, maybe people have had bad experiences with BFGs. But I have personally never had a bad experience with the BFGs. I've always ran an E-rated BFG. I've always ran either a 315 or a 335, 12.5, 17 in a BFG, always E-rated, and I've never had an issue out of them. They've always done me well in everything but really deep mud, and I've really not had this Jeep in no deep mud. The other Jeep, once I had it in some mud that was rather deep. It got out of it, but it wasn't the best. But it's not a mud terrain, so I didn't expect it to be. But in rain, sleet, snow, everything else, sand, anything else that I've driven on, it did great. And the Coopers I had on a while back, probably a couple years ago, 7-8 years ago, they did fine as well. So I got nothing bad to say about Cooper or BFG. So I'll probably get an all-terrain, put it on here. But also, I did notice this. So I'm about 100 miles in on driving with the computer reset. I drove around a little bit last night, and I've been driving around this morning, going around inspecting some of my buildings. And here's where I'm at. 16.2 miles per gallon right now. It's steadily coming up. I don't know how much higher I'll be able to get it up, but it came up some. This is about 50-50 city driving and 50% highway driving. So that's a little less than I thought I was going to be at by about 0.8 miles per gallon. I was thinking I'd be hovering around 17 personally, especially with the Goodyears on here. So what I do think is, I think I can do better with an all-terrain. I think if I put like an all-terrain Cooper on here that's just a little bit lighter, maybe about 3 pounds, I could probably get that number up a little bit without having to re-gear. Maybe a re-gear is down the road. I don't know. But right now, I'm mainly staying in 7th on the interstate, not 6th and 7th. I was seeing 8 some, but mainly in 6th and 7th gear. Not a whole lot in 6th, but a lot in 7th, which is fine. I mean, it didn't feel like it was lagging. It gets up to speed just fine. I've had no issues getting up to speed, but I knew the miles per gallon was going to take a hit. I thought maybe I could get it a little higher than that, but in reality, I don't think I'll get it to 18. I think maybe on a long trip I could get it to 18. But for everyday driving around, going through the city, getting on the interstate, I'm probably going to be between 16 and a half and 17 miles per gallon, which, hey, is not bad by any means, considering the JK I had, 2010 with the 3.8 with 373 gears, got like 12. So, I'm pretty happy about getting between 16 and 17 miles per gallon. So I thought I'd just give a 100-mile review. I've probably put about 300 miles on the tires since Thursday. 100 miles of that this morning and last night, just driving around with the computer reset. And I haven't put no more gas in it yet either. And we're still running winter gas. I think they said when I talked to the guy who was filling up at the BP, the container, who drives the gas container truck, he told me that they was probably going to be around the middle of March when they switch over to the back to the summer gas, maybe 1st of April. So we're still running winter gas. I expect it to go up when summer gets here and it gets a little bit warmer. I'll probably get a little better gas mileage. So I'm not too sad about the gas mileage, but I thought I'd do a little review on it right now and just give my thoughts on it. I'm not sad by any means about about how the tires are driving, because I expected it. It's everybody's got their opinions, and I'm not saying my opinion's right or wrong. I'm just going by, what I'm feeling out of the truck right now, and it just it's not as comfortable as I'd like it with the mud terrains on here. But I do love them. I do like how they look. They look freaking awesome. They look great. Look like they're an awesome tire to go off-roading in. Just for something I drive pretty much every day, I just feel like an all-terrain is going to be a better fit tire for me than a mud terrain, and that's what I'm going to put on. I'm going to put on something that does well in pretty much every category. It's like, okay, it does the greatest in mud, but still does okay in other situations. I want something that's just pretty well all the way across. I'm not getting in no deep mud or anything like that. I needed to have really good on-road mannerisms, and then I need something that's gonna, if I go on a trail, like go up to Uwari, I can, maybe do some climbing. And I feel like where I'm sitting at right now, I've got 22 inches of ground clearance right now on the mill, which is, I'm pretty stoked about that, honestly. I didn't think I was going to get it up that high just by putting a spacer lift on and the Rubicon springs and then throwing some tires on, but I'm pretty happy about that. I'm going to put a rough country track bar on it, and I'm in between if I want to do geo brackets or if I want to do the Mopar control arms. I'm a little on the hesitant side of doing the Mopar control arms for the 2-inch lift, because I don't know if it's going to be enough caster to take some of the sway out. For $60, I may just get them, put them on, and see if they work or not. So anyway, about 300 miles on the tires, 100 miles with the computer set. This is where I'm at, 16.2. I'm going to see if I can get it up higher than that. But anyway, thought I'd give some feedback on it. This is Jamie, Jeep Mod Nation.